Caputo joins us with new revelations about Republican connections to a Florida-based air charter company that flew migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard. Stay with us. This is the website for a private chartered flight company called Vertol Systems, or at least it used to be the website. The web design is a little dated, though it's got a lot of pictures of big, fancy-looking helicopters. Under a section titled Unique Qualifications, they list exactly one unique qualification. Quote, VSC is the only civil company currently operating Russian helicopters in the United States. Good for VSC. I say that this is what the website used to look like because if you go to that same website today, you get this. Looks like this domain isn't connected to a website yet. Thanks to the good folks over at the Internet Archive, we know that the website for that aviation company, Vertol Systems, appears to have gone dark sometime last Friday, which is important because that was right around the time it first became public that Vertol Systems was the company that got paid by the state of Florida to run Governor Ron DeSantis' stunt of flying Venezuelan migrants from Texas to Massachusetts using human beings to stick it to the libs. Governor DeSantis' administration is currently refusing to release the details of a $12 million contract it has entered into with Vertol Systems. The Daily Beast reports that Florida paid Vertol Systems more than double the market price to fly migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard last week. Why is this mysterious little flight company getting so much money from Florida taxpayers? It probably has something to do with the fact that Vertol Systems has numerous ties to Republican politicians in the state of Florida. According to NBC News' Mark Caputo, Vertol Systems' former lawyer, a guy named Larry Keefe, is now in charge of immigration policy for the DeSantis administration. And Keefe's former law partner, who also represented the company, is Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. The company, again, Vertol Systems, also contributed to Richard Corcoran, another DeSantis ally and former Florida Secretary of Education, who played a major role in overhauling Florida's civics education standards to make them more palatable to the Christian right. Vertol Systems also gave money to the campaign of Florida State Rep. Jay Trumbull Jr., the Republican chair of the State Appropriations Committee, a committee that helped secure money for DeSantis' migrant stunt. Governor DeSantis wanted this political play to keep him in the national spotlight, but he might not have anticipated how much that spotlight would also shine a light on his Republican friends and donors and cronies. Joining us now is Mark Caputo, national reporter for NBC News Digital, who has been uncovering a lot of the story for us. Mark, it's always good to see you. Thank you for this reporting. Let me first just start as our man in Florida. How is all of this playing for Ron DeSantis? He's up for re-election as a governor. There is a large immigrant population in Florida, Venezuelans, Cubans, many of whom are migrants who at one point might have sought asylum for political reasons. Is this working for him?
I don't know the answer to that question. We're in a polarized society. We're in a polarized state. I would like to see more polling about it. It might surprise you, but when you talk to Republicans, they think Ron DeSantis is doing a great job. And when you talk to Democrats, they think he's doing a terrible job. And a lot of independents are focusing on other things. I think a lot of this depends on how this is messaged and handled going forward, and also what the facts are when they go out or when they come out. And as you pointed out, we've asked for the contract. Everybody's asked for the contract. We have a very good, generous public records law in Florida. It hasn't been honored by the DeSantis administration. Media companies are eventually going to probably have to sue. So there's been an odd level of stonewalling by DeSantis' administration. But if you also look at it from their perspective, the more this is talked about in DeSantis' world, the more they think they're winning on it. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. He is sitting on a huge pile of money in his race for governor. And if you look at the polling, immigration generally favors Republicans when it comes to public opinion. So, as I said, it's too early now to really tell. We are in a polarized state and a polarized society. So I would wait to see on prognosticating the exact effects.
Well, I will say, DeSantis is crowing about this on Fox News. As you said, Republicans everywhere are saying this is a great move by him. But the fact is, let's start with the facts. Vertol Systems took its website down. Do we think that's indicative of anything? Have they been forthcoming with information as reporters have been asking for it?
Oh, gosh, no. I mean, and as you pointed out, as I wrote today, Vertol Systems got $1.6 million for 2 flights, one of which didn't happen. We have no idea really what happened to that money outside of the fact that roughly 50 migrants were flown over from San Antonio, Texas, to Martha's Vineyard. The state program that this was authorized under said it was for unauthorized aliens, that's a quote, from this state. But they didn't get them from this state. They got them from Texas. And that's not what the law says. That's not what the budget says that authorized this. In addition, these migrants were not unauthorized aliens when you talk to their lawyers. They said these were asylum-seeking migrants, mostly, if not all, Venezuelan, and therefore they were authorized to be in the United States. So a program for unauthorized aliens to be removed from Florida wound up enriching some company based out in the Panhandle, an air charter company, to remove authorized aliens from Texas and take them to Martha's Vineyard. So we're trying to figure out the logic of that a little more, but so far we're not getting a whole hell of a lot of answers in the way of understanding what happened.
Not only are they flying migrants in the wrong sort of immigration category out of the wrong state, they're also doing it at, I believe, double the market rate, right? That's another point. That's the Daily Beast is reporting that the flight to Massachusetts was at literally double the rate for charter flights. And then, of course, there's the flight to Delaware, which gets scuttled, for which Vertol Systems was paid $1 million, that was empty.
We don't know. The problem is we don't exactly know what they're doing with the money. Understand, to the best of our ability, in having read other media accounts, listened to what migrants have told other reporters and what their lawyers have told me, and what some agents of the state have kind of begrudgingly discussed, the state of Florida didn't just pay a company to just pick up a crew of people and fly them. It wasn't like they were just at the airport. These people were recruited by different vendors, different agents of the state, so to speak. They were given food. Now, these were fast food vouchers from McDonald's in San Antonio. They were put up for at least a night, these 50 or so folks, at the La Quinta Inn in San Antonio. Some of them were given haircuts. Who knows what other money was used? There was transportation provided to the airport, and then ultimately there was air travel that was provided from San Antonio, ultimately to Martha's Vineyard. Exactly what was paid on the airfare from the air charter company that this air charter company chartered, we don't know. But this is something we should know, and one way to find that out would be to look at the contract, have someone answer some basic questions, and that's just not happening yet. And then when you step back and you look like, okay, well, who are the different people who've been affiliated with this program? Larry Keefe, who was dubbed by the Tallahassee Democrat as the public safety czar for Governor DeSantis, his portfolio, as you mentioned, is over immigration, and he was the lawyer for this company. So we would certainly like to know, well, did he recommend this company? And what was his relationship with this company when it was under discussion? Again, no answers.
There are certainly a number of Republican ties to this plot that make you think maybe it's just slightly political. Mark Caputo, national reporter for NBC News Digital. Thanks, as always, for your time and reporting, Mark.
Thank you.